Hi, and welcome to the newest episode of the J-Karp Show. Today, we are going to talk about World Wrestling Entertainment and the Royal Rumble, of which I attended on January 29th. Also, I will talk about the pros and cons about WWE, in my opinion, of course. But first, let's just talk about the Rumble. So on January 29th, the 25th Annual Rumble was held in St. Louis, in the Scott Trade Center. It's officially in the books, and it was one that was pretty full of surprises. General Manager John Laurinaitis willingly counted the pin for CM Punk. Guys like the Great Khali and Road Dogg showed up out of nowhere. And perhaps most surprisingly for me, Sheamus defied the odds to win the 30-man Rumble match. Now, what we did and did not see during the recent pay-per-view sure taught us a lot about the company. There are 10 things I learned from the Royal Rumble, and here they are in today's Quick Hit segment. The first thing I learned was WWE relies too much on its announcers. And though the Rumble appearances by Cole, Jerry Lawler, and Booker T were pretty short, they do shine a big problem that the company has. Now, see, I like Booker T and Jerry Lawler. I like them announcing and wrestling. But honestly, and I used to like Cole before he became being annoying beyond freaking belief. I mean, he has to be the worst heel in history. Like, he's like a comical heel. It is pathetic. But they need to stick these guys back in the announce booth if they're only going to let them wrestle for less than a minute. Number 2. Ricardo Rodriguez is a better Alberto Del Rio than Alberto Del Rio. I think his appearance was the funniest of the night. And, believe it or not, he actually eliminated somebody. Number 3, WWE needs to reduce these freaking surprise matches. Why wasn't the 4-on-4 Divas match? Or, okay, I can understand why Drew McIntyre and Brodus Clay wasn't announced before, because the match only lasted around a minute 30 seconds. But, come on. Sometimes surprise matches are good. A lot of times, it's bad. Number 4. These pay-per-views for wrestling have too much filler. The Natalya, Beth Phoenix, and Bella Twins versus Kelly, Eve, Alicia Fox, and Tamina were in a 5-minute match. And you would not believe, I don't know if you guys watched it, went to it, ordered it, you would not believe the amount of promo videos, especially the ones with John Cena and The Rock, aired during the show. It took up at least almost 10 minutes of the show. And you're saying, oh, 10 minutes out of 3 hours. Trust me, when you're sitting in the Scott Trade Center waiting for the next match, it gets repetitive. Number 5. In my opinion, Cody Rhodes is the best heel in wrestling. He eliminated some of WWE's most beloved legends, Mick Foley, Jerry Lawler, Jim Duggan, and Booker T. Hell, he even eliminated the Great Khali and Santino. Okay, well, it's Santino, but I mean, come on. It was still amazing. And these eliminations, as well as staying in the match for 41 minutes, mean that he is getting a push as a heel. And honestly, I think it's looking really good. Number 6. Road Dogg still got it. Road Dogg appeared as the 23rd entrant, and he got one of the biggest pops of the night. The crowd in St. Louis was on fire, chanting, "You still got it," throughout his appearance. And he looked like he hadn't lost a single beat, hitting his finishing moves throughout the match. Number 7. WWE doesn't know what to do with Brodus Clay. I mean, squash match after squash match. Thank God he has not been on TV these past 2 weeks. Give the man a freaking feud before WrestleMania. I don't care if it's a week or 2. I'm tired of seeing guys who I wouldn't even see on the Superstars show, like Kurt Hawkins, Tyler Rex, and all them, coming on and getting squashed in a minute. I mean, it is the same repetitive thing every single week. I mean, you know it's bad. You know there's filler in the show, and Brodus Clay has to actually have a match for a long period of time. Number 8. Jericho is WWE's most beloved heel. Now, technically speaking, Jericho is the only guy who can literally walk into the ring as a face and leave as a heel without saying a single word. Because believe it or not, that's what he did. But now that he's technically a heel, he still gets bigger pops than Kofi Kingston. He's not the best heel in the business, but he's sure the most athletic, in my view. Number 9. John Cena is too loved by wrestling WWE to lose fairly. A double countout at one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year? Oh, weak. Cena could have easily taken either the clean pin or the clean loss to Kane and made their storyline much more intriguing. But no, the creative team felt that they have to give Cena that non-lame finish. Vince McMahon was literally forced the creative team members to book Cena in this way, but it's not good for business. Now this Sunday, Cena faces Kane in an ambulance match. I want Kane to win. I don't know who will, but it better be a damn good match, knowing how long people waited to see this storyline unfold. And the 10th thing I've learned, St. Louis is by far the best wrestling city there is. Now, you got Madison Square Garden, a lot of the college university stadiums, but come on. I think St. Louis takes the cake when it comes to wrestling greatness. Not only was this city once a pinnacle for pro wrestling, but there's always great crowds at wrestling WWE events at the Scottrade Center. Always. Now, ratings for the Royal Rumble were very mixed, and I can see it. I give it around an 8, 8.5 out of 10, because even if I didn't like the Cena Kane match ending, I still think it was a good match. I just think that WWE I think they needed to do a lot better at the Rumble match. It just seemed like a lot of things went wrong in that Rumble match, especially with the lack of talent that was in there. Now, as usual, I'm going to read the comments from the people sending to me about WWE and what they think needs to happen with the promotion. This first one we have is from Cameron J. Quote, I think the Divas division needs a major overhaul. Now that's true. Here's a point I want to bring. I'm glad I read this one because here's the thing. You watch Raw, you watch SmackDown, the Diva matches go so fast, you can turn around, look at the wall behind you, turn around again, and the match would be over. It is that short. It is unbelievable. I mean, at least I remember matches, and I'm not talking about Attitude Era type stuff, because not even back then they weren't really long. I'm talking about like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, these matches went on for about 5-6 minutes a lot of times. And I'm not saying I want to see every Divas match go on forever, but I don't want to see every Divas match in less than 2 minutes. Doesn't even give them a chance to show off what moves they have. Now, this next one we have is from Al S. Screw Sheamus and WWE. I am so disappointed with the Rumble. Nothing happened. Jericho losing like that is just ridiculous with all the hype and just a normal elimination. Well, I like Sheamus and WWE. I wasn't too disappointed with the Rumble. I was disappointed with the Rumble match, but I could see why he's upset. The last one we have here from Key T. Quote, I am so bored of the Big Show. No more putting him on TV. I don't see a point anymore. Okay, Key. Well, here. I think I know what you're saying, but I want you to think of it this way. Either Orton RKO's The Big Show or The Great Khali. Now, you tell me which one sells moves better, and then you come talk to us. Now, this Sunday is the Elimination Chamber. And believe it or not, I'm actually excited. I went to the inaugural one in the Scottrade Center 2010. Now, while I'm not a fan of these match-based pay-per-views, Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank, and so on, I think this one could be a real big hit or a big flop. But see, so far there's only 4 matches on the card: the SmackDown and Raw Elimination Chambers, the Divas match, and Cena and Kane in the ambulance match. So I have the feeling that the creative team's going to add like a filler tag team match in. Maybe a couple little squashes, which means it's going to be time for Brodus Clay to shine. So I'm going to give you what I think is going to happen at the Elimination Chamber. First, I think Wade Barrett's going to win the SmackDown Chamber. Wade Barrett's going to win the title. I can't give you guys an elimination order because I don't have that prediction. I can't really predict that. I just hope to God Santino doesn't last long. For crying out loud. Santino Marella in the Elimination Chamber. Okay, well, that's not too bad. But I see Wade Barrett winning because they're going to give him a big push, especially after how they really embarrassed him at the Rumble. So they're going to push him to WrestleMania, and Sheamus is going to face him, and Sheamus is going to win the World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania. For the Raw one, okay, it's going to be Jericho. Let's just face fact. I think it's going to be Jericho. I really don't see any of these guys. Jericho's going to beat Punk for the title. WrestleMania, Punk's going to face Jericho for the title. And honestly, that seems like a great feud to me. Now, as far as the Cena Kane match, well, okay, I want Kane to win. I could see it going either way. This match hasn't happened in 10 years, so I really don't know what... I think this will be a good match either way. But, I don't know. We'll see what happens. And as far as the Divas match goes... no. I'm not even going to predict that. Screw it. Because I'm going to probably get something to eat and then come back and the match will be over. So, nope. Screw it. No prediction for it. Well, that concludes practically today's episode of the J-Karp Show. Stick around later. Don't forget to check out us on Facebook now. And I will see you next time, where we will talk about Jeremy Lin of the New York Knicks.